Hello, Faith Christian Center, and whoever else may be tuning in right now. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of our little fireside chats we're having every day. I hope this is encouraging you. I've been getting some good feedback from people on how much it's been helping us. And I'm not teaching you any great deep insights, but just to be reminded of things day after day after day is very helpful and to help us keep focused. Well, this week we're talking about prayer. And we all know how important prayer is, but we don't pray because although we know it's important, we just don't seem to have confidence that it's necessary or that it's going to work. Because it's not as if we don't have needs in our life, and certainly in this time that we're living in, if we don't have needs, we certainly know that people around us have needs. And so the reason that so many of us don't pray as more than we do, first of all, is we really are not sure that God's listening. And if God listens or God cares, or if God listens and cares, he's able to do anything. But I think the really primary reason why Christians don't pray is they're too much aware of themselves and that they're just know instinctively, why would God want to listen to me? I've not been faithful. I've not been praying the way I should be praying. I've not been a good Christian. I've not loving people the way I should love. I've not done everything wrong. But besides that, I know my past. Why would God listen to me? And this is the number one weapon of Satan, to rob us of our confidence before God. Because what the Bible teaches us, our confidence in prayer is not in ourselves, it's in the God to whom we pray. It's how faithful he is. It's how kind he is. It's how generous he is. It's how much he cares. It's his faithfulness. It's his love. And he's told us to come and to ask him. I remember a number of years ago, I was praying about a very difficult situation in someone's life. It was a life and death situation. And I was praying and praying and praying, but I could tell somewhere down inside I lacked confidence that this is really going to work. And I can still tell you where I was in my house. It was like 1:30 in the morning. I had woken up about this situation, and I felt the Lord say to me, in Matthew chapter 7, I've told you to come and ask, and you will receive. And then he asked me this question. He said, John, why would I tell you to ask if I had not already decided I was going to answer you? And that shook me. It woke me up. He wants me to ask him because he's ready to answer. He just needs me to ask him. So if he's telling me to come to him and ask him in prayer, he's already decided he wants to answer the prayer. So it has nothing to do with me and whether I'm qualified or not. Then the second thing I began to learn that helped me in my prayer life is when it began to become more real to me that I have been joined to Christ. I am one with Christ, that who he is, I am, and who I am, he is. That's what it means to be one with him. Jesus puts it this way in John 15, if you abide in me and my words abide in you, you shall ask whatever you will, and it will be done unto you. By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit. He's talking about prayer there. So the key to confidence in prayer is understanding that if you're a Christian, you are joined to Christ. That means when you come before the Father to pray, it's the same as if Jesus is coming. In fact, it is Jesus coming because you and Jesus are one. Just like my wife and I are one. If you say something to her, you said something to me. If you applaud her or you give her a compliment, you've given me a compliment. If you accuse her of something, you've accused me. Well, the same is true of our relationship with Christ. So the confidence we have in prayer is not in ourselves, it's in the one we've been joined to. Now, we may know that, the theology of that, we may know the principle of that, but somewhere down inside, that's not become real to us. So how does that become real to us? By meditating on what the Word of God says about us. I've been just living in John 15 for the last year or so, that he's the vine and I'm a branch. And then I look outside my window and I look what the relationship with the branch is with a vine. They have the same identity. I don't look at a branch and say, well, that's an oak tree branch. I look at the branch and say, that's an oak tree because it's the branch that's attached to an oak tree. They're the same. They have the same identity. In the same way, that tree can't produce any leaves, it can't produce any fruit unless it produces it through the branch, and the branch can't produce anything unless it's attached to the tree. That's what Jesus is teaching in John 15. And he's talking specifically about our prayer life and the fruit of the result of our time, spending time with him in prayer. So I just want to encourage you. Finally, I want to end with this. Because this is so important, I have decided to take every Wednesday night service that we're going to do for the foreseeable future and dedicate that to prayer. The first Wednesday of every month has been our normal prayer night. We're extending that to every Wednesday night. And I'm entitling it United in Prayer. So I'm calling the church to come together in prayer. We can't physically come to the church, but you can tune in on Facebook Live, on YouTube, or the best way is to go to our website, with this faithccenter.com. And there are different ways you can connect to this live service tonight. So join me tonight, and then each and every Wednesday night in the foreseeable future, we're going to come and we're going to see results because we've come together in prayer. So I'll look forward to seeing you here tomorrow, but I'll look forward to seeing tonight as we come together to unite in prayer. God bless you. We'll see you then.